Cain sees his brother being blessed by God. He already feels some type of way of how God treated his offering. So he become angry. Then his countenance fell. Watch this. Now, God tried to come to correct him and say, hey, if you do what is right, will you not be accepted? So Cain now got to make a decision on why he offered God what he did and what was the motive behind what he offered. Mm-hmm. And now sin crashes at the door and it desires to have you, but you must master it. Watch what happens next. Now Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain, he said that Cain, rose up against his brother and killed him. And it's interesting that they left out the conversation of what was being said. Because think about this. I can only imagine, like, if you take that moment, okay, he's jealous of his brother. Mm-hmm. Because what's going on? He feel like he in the spotlight with God. Mm-hmm. And now he's angry. Now God is talking to him in correction and not favor. Mm-hmm. He's mad and angry. Sin at the door. It's crouching. It already told his intentions. Mm-hmm. And now he wants to go have a conversation with his brother that he's secretly jealous about. When they both were in the field, Cain rose up and attacked Abel and killed him. Because of the secret jealousy that was in his heart, he wasn't willing to deal with. Even when God came and talked with him and tried to correct it. Imagine how many people you have met and they saw the anointing on your life. They saw what God was doing in your life. They even to the extent could see the possibilities of what God was preparing to do in you. Mm-hmm. And they became angry because God is doing it with you and not them. They didn't take a moment and to consider that maybe God anointed all of us. Watch this, anointed all of us, but right now it's their time. Mm-hmm. Watch this. Let's get away from this, right? Let's get away from God anointed them. I'm qualified. Let's get away from that, because the reality is, if you look at it this way, you won't be jealous of your brother or your sister coming up in the gospel. Mm-hmm. If you look at everybody have a certain function to do in the kingdom, mm-hmm. that before you get to your job, somebody got to first do theirs. Yeah. Just because God is using them right now doesn't make them more important than you. That just means that they have to get their job done and get a certain thing established so that when your time has come, it is easier for you to do your job without tension.
And you know something I thought about? I was thinking, you know how all of us deal with certain things. Well, one may be jealousy, one may be, just envy, envy, all that type of stuff. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, what if God already knew that that's what Cain was dealing with? Jealousy. Like he knew that he could see jealousy in Cain's heart. And if he saw that, what if him telling him that he didn't accept or what was the word? Respect his offering was a test? Because he already knew that Cain had a jealousy streak in him. And so he was like, I'm going to test him and say that I don't respect his offering. And I respect his brother's offering. Just to see what he does. And, we see how that turned out. Oh, he failed miserably. But that's how it is. That's how it's going to be sometimes with us. Like, God's going to see certain stuff in us.
Come on, Miss Pickens.
And he's going to put us through certain tests. He's going to deny certain stuff. Give us certain stuff. And just to see if we'll pass the test or not.
So you telling me that sometimes opportunity can just be a test?
Yep.
Sometimes opportunity is not an elevation. is just an opportunity for God to see what you really gonna do once it's in your hands. Because the thing is, a lot of us, my God, a lot of us can look, oh, Jesus, ooh, that I felt that one. A lot of us can look at preachers and say, man, they are false, they're wrong, they ain't right, they ain't teaching the Bible right. But when God put the baton in your hand, you wouldn't even know what to do with it. Instead of offering grace and offering prayer that they may align and get things in place, you consider yourself greater. You ever thought why God put them in place and he didn't do you? Because he understood some people that he will build in the office. There's certain in high school, when I would get in trouble, there were certain conversations I would get in the office and not in the public. There's times when the principal will say, man, I see so much in you. There's so much in you, young man. You can't keep going this way. Now, I ain't gonna say it out there because I don't want your value to be seen and you become a target for other people. But I see you, young man. Do what is right. So it's just like this in this story. That when Cain was put to the test of correction to do better, and he had a choice to do better or do harm, he chose do harm because he couldn't get over somebody got something better than me.